But Kenta, you're a sport podcaster, man. Hey, welcome, guys. It's another Friday. Another
Hello.
show. You know we love it. It's me and Kenta. And special guest is Phil.
Hi, everyone.
For real, I didn't even know he was
And the
there.
audience last week really liked the way you and me argued.
Who, me and you?
Yeah.
They're like, hey, finally someone's not being nice to Jay. I'm just like,
You know, I can turn your mic off.
I love you, Jay. I love you.
You know, I can turn your mic off right now. I can be like Donald Trump right now. I can be a real dick. I could be a dick.
You do realize that this is a sports podcast and not a political podcast. We're already going into political stuff.
Right. How many times do I get yelled at for it? And Phil, huh?
I'm just mad because I can't get my Switch too.
I bet you and all the thousands of other people who, hundreds of thousands, by the way, was.
And I was gonna do a review on it too, on the channel.
Yeah, and I'm probably not going to be able to get my new PC now, so that's another thing.
What the hell happened?
Well, if I can't get a new motherboard or power system, no matter what, all technology is going to be expensive anyways. So the $700 that I'm saving for the PC at Best Buy is probably going to be now $1,000.
No, if you hurry up, everything goes up April 10th. It doesn't take effect until April 10th.
Okay, so maybe next week then I can get it.
Yeah, so you have about a week left.
That sucks.
Welcome to the shit show.
That I warned you. Oh, me and other millions of people warned everybody about.
All right, what do we want to talk about first?
Your stuff is probably longer than mine.
Mine, not that long.
I don't even know what you're talking about. Me and Jay have been slacking the last 2 weeks, guys. Sorry.
No, I called you last night.
Yeah, but like but last week we didn't talk the night before.
Cause I was in the emergency room.
And then the week before that, we also didn't talk the day before.
Then I was in the emergency room.
Well, we didn't even talk before like it started. I'm saying we just sent texts to each other.
Oh yeah, that's true. And I think people like that because we had nothing planned out. I just want to go back to the guy with Aaron Rodgers thing about the future of Aaron Rodgers. Is he going to retire? Is he going to play? What team he's going to play for?
He's probably still smoking ayahuasca out in a darkness retreat somewhere.
Actually, no, he's in Malibu right now. I know that much. But did you see that ridiculous video of him walking on the beach with a blanket around him, looking at the sun and contemplating what he should do?
Looking at the sun farther, it'll make you blind.
I mean, that's ridiculous. Who does he think he is? Really?
He was going to be RFK Jr.'s running mate, so that just goes to show the dumbassery that it's involved with him.
And then
we all know he's a bonehead, guys, but I don't know. He's just contemplating playing or retiring.
Yeah,
but I do think that he's delusional and how much gravity he really has. I think now I can say.
But there was some reports that came out he wants to find an organization that is just like how the Packers are. I mean, if you're looking for the same kind of image as the Packers, why lead the Packers in the first place?
Because, like I said over the phone last night, he didn't know what he had until he lost it.
I know, man. He's like, I want to find the stability like the Green Bay Packers have, always winning. You know why we always win? We get rid of our old players 1 year ahead of time. But Kenton,
Most of the time, I can agree.
but Kenton doesn't like that.
That's why free agents don't come here in the first place. Not that you're not willing to sign them. Players are willing to take pay cuts, but only if they know there's for sure like winnability and sustainability.
Yeah, but the Patriots have been doing that for years.
They did it better than us though, and they won championships consistently.
Well, because they had a really good board leader like Tom Brady.
That's what I'm saying. Even though Aaron Rodgers talently is better than Tom Brady is just a better leader.
Yeah. But
somehow both scumbags. But
so let's see. The Vikings already came out and said they're not signing him.
Which I'm upset about because I wanted that to happen. But
why?
Because I think it'd be funny, and it'd give me a reason to not like Rodgers. Even it would give me a reason to not like Rodgers more.
And then he was talking about going to the Giants, but now the Giants, I think they signed Russell Wilson.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So he's a starter in New York right now. Niners, no, because they have Brock Purdy and they have to pay him a lot of money. There was only 2 teams, but they're off the board. The Raiders were a candidate before they got Geno Smith. So now Geno's going to be the starting QB for the Raiders. And there's only one team left, and that's the Pittsburgh Steelers. Do you guys think that he'll be a good fit with the Pittsburgh Steelers?
No, because they don't invest in supporting talent.
Well, they traded for DK. He's there now.
Yeah, but they have no other money. Like they have one. I guess they have money to get Rodgers, but that'd be it.
Well, Rodgers has to take a massive pay cut at his age,
which he'll never do. He'll never ever take a pay cut.
Well, Mom, don't say never, because he did take a pay cut to go to the Jets. He took a big pay cut to go to the Jets.
Yeah, after no one else would sign him.
No, because he wanted to bring his buddies. That was the one thing that I was pissed off at. All those years that he's been with the Green Bay Packers, he never took a pay cut for the Packers. But when he left, they went to the Jets, and he wanted to bring his people in. He took a pay cut. And maybe if he took a pay cut with the Packers, we could have brought more talent in to help.
Yes, that.
You agree with me, Kevin? Yeah, if he took a pay cut, we could have got more help for Aaron Rodgers.
Man, he muted himself. That's the reason why he's.
Can anybody read the hand language here?
There was a lot of sound around me, so I muted myself.
Okay, a lot of sound. Okay, yeah, but can you see? I really have a good question. Do you guys can you actually see Aaron Rodgers playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Yeah.
Because I think that's his only option. Or maybe he can wait for training camp and see if one of these QBs gets hurt in the offseason and when a team really needs.
But then that just puts him in the team behind again.
Or the
On chemistry, him learning the playbook.
I mean, Vikings are still an option. I wouldn't put that away. Because,
yeah, just because they have technically a rookie quarterback.
well, and JJ McCarthy is not ready yet after his knee surgery. So,
It's
they
still
would have
March.
a backup QB.
It's still March.
Yeah.
It's just like an Indiana fan to get on an injured team because that's all you guys can do. So.
Oh boy, not again. Not you two again. I'll let you have time later at the end of the show.
Nah, Jay. It's only for franchises that have rings, man. It's okay. It's okay.
We're already talking smack, huh?
Maybe if it was like a Boston Celtics fan or a Cleveland Cavaliers fan, maybe even a Heats fan, man. Even a Pistons fan, I would take it. But Pacers fan, it don't matter. It don't matter.
Wow.
It's all talk. It's all talk.
I'm not gonna get in. I'm not getting in between these arguments. But yeah. But do
We're not getting food cups. Stop it.
But do you think Aaron Rodgers can help an organization?
I think he could be consistent, but not like clutch. I think.
But do you think he can still lift up the team like he used to do?
No.
With the Packers,
he drags the team down more than he brings them up.
Yeah.
All those years with the Packers, he's the one that he put the whole team on his shoulder.
But what did he do to help them? Nothing.
Yeah.
He missed training camp and didn't practice with his rookies.
Yep.
So they were behind.
Yeah, that's.
He played favoritism too much instead of, this is a team effort. And even though I see a guy with more potential, instead of still working with all of them, I'm just going to work with this guy. Like that, and that puts the guys who might not be as talented as that guy, but you still could at least make them into decent weapons and give them confidence and not shoot them down.
Look at the 149ers game that we lost in the playoffs with the block punt, and that was yes, a large part of it was the special teams, but it was like, okay, Aaron gets got the ball, let's go to Devontae, let's go to Devontae.
I don't mind him looking for Devontae to snap.
But you could have spread the ball around. There was more talent around Devontae Adams than just Devontae Adams.
Yeah, that's true.
And even though we didn't get a first rounder, the Packers still drafted decent receivers he refused to work with. Amari Rodgers. He decided to work literally with Rondo Cobb was 35, 36 years old at that time.
No, he was 34.
He moved like he was 40, okay. I'm just playing now. He moved better than a 4-year-old. That's mean.
James Jones came back, so.
There's no reason why he should have been over Aaron Rodgers.
I get your guys' point.
Like Packers fans got mad at me as soon as I said, "Oh my God, they're going to pick a guy who's past his prime over a rising stud from college," and they killed his confidence. Literally, I still to this day blame the Packers and Aaron Rodgers for ruining Aaron Rodgers' career. He's the only college player I've ever followed.
Yeah, but he could have had it. He could have had a fresh start when he went to the Browns. But he didn't.
He played.
Do you
for
really expect the Browns to develop
He played
players?
for 2 other teams before the Browns, and all teams he went to already had their players, man. So I don't want to.
Do you honestly think the Browns
that.
can develop players?
No, the Browns can't develop players.
Well, they did develop Baker, and Baker took them to the Browns to a playoff game.
No, they ruined Baker because Baker Mayfield was already
Baker and
talented
then fired Hugh
before.
Jackson, and then they hired Kevin Stefanski.
And he went to the playoffs with Baker.
But Baker already had that talent, though. They haven't made anybody.
Yeah. Baker also went through Freddie Kitchens too.
Wait. What did you say? The Browns didn't make anybody?
Like recently.
Miles Garrett?
He was also a stud in college. So.
Okay. You also do realize that Myles Garrett was a number 1 overall pick for a reason.
That's why I said he was a stud.
He's a stud.
They didn't need to do much developing. They just like, here, we're going to plop you here. Do your thing.
For real, just imagine if he was on a team that had
actually cared about their players.
He could have.
Yeah, cared about their players, had excellent coaching, and had more talent around him. He would be an all-timer. Don't get me wrong, he's a Hall of Famer, probably.
No, maybe. He could have, but he took the money.
Oh, yeah, no. Him staying with the Browns is the dumbest decision I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, so. That's what I think. He could have got the money from somewhere else. I guarantee.
He could have. The Packers were interested.
Yeah, the Packers.
I know the Chargers were interested a little bit. I know the Chiefs were, but that was like the first team he turned down, and they didn't have the money to. So it didn't really make sense. I said they didn't have the money for it, so they just. But the Chiefs just want everybody, you know.
But going back to the Aaron Rodgers thing, do you think that the Steelers are a playoff team with Aaron Rodgers?
They were a playoff team last year without him.
So I'm gonna say yeah.
But do you think they can go deep?
No.
Mostly because of coaching.
And because the way that Mike Tomlin is coached in the playoffs, year,
I'd say no.
I say they're the most consistently injured prone team in the NFL that I can think of.
Very interesting. I like your guys' take on that.
I mean, the Steelers are a good organization. The only problem is Mike Tomlin doesn't know how to manage playoff games. The only reason why he went to those 2 Super Bowls. The only reason why he went to those 2 Super Bowls was because largely that was Bill Cowher's team.
No, what? No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was. Largely.
I say the Pittsburgh Steelers are kind of remind me of the Bucks, but just they have had longer pain, I guess. But we're also have higher expectations technically, but I don't really care right now.
They're a team that won 5 Super Bowls, or 6, I think, 6 Super Bowls.
No, yeah,
it's crazy. So, real quick, this has nothing to do with sports, but there's a shot glass I have on my desk that I use to shoot little papers at, and I made one I didn't even know, and it's a really difficult trick shot, and I'm kind of sad that I didn't notice I made one. Sorry, that was a very, very ADHD moment.
Squirrel.
Let's get to the NBA. Your topic. I love hearing about the NBA from you. You get so angry about it.
Refs are blowhards.
Oh wow, we're just gonna go right into it, aren't we?
They just don't make watching basketball fun, no matter even when it's not the Bucks, man. Like that's why it's so annoying, and that's why I hate when people are like, "But no, it's not on the Bucks." And around the Bucks, to me, get the worst in rhythms when.
Yeah, want to watch it.
Oh yeah, I watch the Bucks the most, of course, but I watch a lot of other basketball as well. But
That Josh Giddey
they're just
half
so
quarter last week was
inconsistent.
pretty fun.
They're just so inconsistent, sometimes so blatant and so biased. Like Trae Young and Luka Doncic can get away with so much bullshit. So excuse my language, but it's true. If he wasn't in here, I would say something with Indiana Pacers and give him a little bit of credit, but I'm not. See, look what you did. But like they just don't. The refs are just really biased. Like during the Hawks game earlier in the season when Damian was
Chiefs
healthy.
fan, how's it going, man?
What's up, Chiefs fan? The refs kept blowing whistles for Trae Young's like fake shots for like 3-pointers or just hesitations. And then every time Dame would do it, he wouldn't get the calls. And it's just like, well, how can you explain that? That's just biased refs. How's it Trae Young can fake a shot, by the way, then shoot and then call a foul and then call continuation, but then Dame might not get the call, but when he does get the call, they don't call continuation for him and he doesn't get free throws. So now Trae Young just scored 15 points off of free throws when Dame could have done even more because he got fouled more. But they're not calling continuation at all. Then it was the same thing for Luka Doncic. And then I'm going to say this. Tyrese Halliburton only gets those calls at home, but Dame doesn't get those calls at home or away. But if you're going to call it for one player both ways, which is Luka and Trae Young, who Trae Young's not even to me a top 10 star in the NBA, you got to call it for someone who's in the top 75 of all time.
Wow.
And then the Bucks Warriors game when they were in Pfizer Forum was awful. And this is what I mean by the Bucks might get more calls, might get more fouls, like free throws. But when the refs call fouls on the Bucks, it's not like, it's back and forth. So let's say, again, the Warriors. The Bucks score, the Warriors score, the Bucks score, the Warriors score. And then the Bucks all of a sudden go on a run. And let's say they go on like an 8-0 run. Then the refs are going to call like 5 fouls in a row against the Bucks. No other team in the league gets that against them. And then it wasn't just the Warriors game. It was the Clippers game, the Heat game, the Philadelphia game, the Magic game that was recently. And then it's almost happening every game now, it feels like, to us. We have an MVP caliber player who's not getting good calls, and I don't want it that way. I just want them to be consistent.
And fair. Mm-hmm.
Yes. I don't care if we get calls or not. There was recently a game where the refs were holding their whistles, and it was the best game of the season. And we lost.
Calm down. You're going to give yourself a heart attack over that.
Like, I just don't get it.
Come on, man.
Like, they just got to do.
The referees are horrible in every single sport.
No.
And then here's the next topic
hockey.
to it.
They're pretty consistent with hockey. In the
playoffs come,
when the playoffs come, let them play. Let them play.
Yeah, but that's hockey. You can fight.
Yeah, and then you get 2 minutes in the penalty box.
I was like, even if the MLB sucks, the umpires can be extremely bad, but there's so many umpires in the MLB compared to any other sport. I feel like people know who are the bad ones, and now there's a lot more challenges and things that the coaches, managers can do in the MLB to fight calls, unlike
contest calls,
football or basketball.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at football. Chiefs fans are not gonna like this, but look how the refs are biased for Patrick Mahomes. He gets every single call. Why?
Hello, face of the league alert. Face of the league alert.
He's the face of the league.
Yes, but the NFL is consistent by doing that for almost every single star face of the league that they've ever had. So I think it's an NFL problem. I get you get to the teams, but the difference with the NBA, it's a league problem, and they also pick players and teams as well. And you have to think they do it like for the NFL, it's big moments. For the NBA, it's consistent momentum. Don't get me wrong, big moments in the NFL can change the energy and momentum, but it's a lot easier to come back from that than it is the NBA.
Yeah.
Again, the Warriors and the Sixers game, the refs called 6 fouls in a row on the Bucks, and 3 of them weren't fouls, and the other 3 were blatantly not fouls.
That's bad.
I still remember what the calls were, and 2 were on Giannis, and they were both stupid.
That's bad.
And the Bucks made a comeback, took the lead, and then the refs do that, and you can't how am I supposed to excuse that?
Yeah, you can't.
And I'm telling you, if you guys watch a Bucks game, watch how they're bad all around the league and biased and stuff, but they do not consistently. They'll maybe do 3 calls in a row for another team, but I haven't seen another team get more than 3 bad. Well, some of them weren't bad, but 3 consecutive calls in a row. The Bucks get more, and I'm telling you, some of them are fouls, and a lot of them are like, "What are you doing?" Even at the home games where I'm more than hundreds of feet away from them, and I can clearly see that that's not a foul. And then when they play the replay, you can clearly see that it's not a foul. The NBA, I don't care if it slows down the game, because the refs are slowing down the game anyways with the call. Have a 4th referee on the box that can switch it right away, or have extra challenges to give to the coaches. Because a lot of this is it's dumb, because then the other team gets scoring opportunities, and then that's when it becomes bull. Because then I can't get mad at the other teams for getting calls from the refs.
Yeah.
I want to get mad at my team for not cutting, for not playing defense, for not rebounding, for not showing any energy, instead of getting mad at the refs. But then the refs ruin it, and that's why I'm like, this is stupid. Because I want to get mad at my own team for not playing good basketball. Or I want to be happy with my team for playing great basketball and not getting bailed out, which we barely do. We've only had 3 out of all the games I remembered. I've been to every single home game, and I've only missed 1 road game, watching. We've only had 3 games where we literally got calls that were for us and that were very, very beneficial. I mean, 3 games, not 3 calls, 3 games.
Okay.
And by the way, the Bucks have the 2nd most franchise wins in NBA history. Not championships, just wins. And we don't get treated like it. We have an MB. We have arguably the best player in the world, and LeBron, who's 40 years old, still gets more calls than he does. And I don't want Giannis to get calls. I just want it to be called fairly.
I'm still laughing at LeBron James after his mental flub against the Bulls last Thursday. Oh, God, that was hilarious.
Also, LeBron James is weak because he hasn't played a game in Milwaukee since 2022. He's afraid of Giannis. He only plays Giannis when he's in LA. This year, he gets kind of a break because he was injured, but still kind of ducking Giannis.
So how many games are left for each team?
There's 6 games for the Bucks. So I'm gonna say for the whole league, anywhere from 5 to 8.
And what does the playoff bracket look like?
I gotta look at the West, but the East is Cavaliers, Boston. Want to say it's the Knicks, then it's the Pacers, then it's the Bucks, then it's the Pistons, then it's the Heat or Hawks, and then the Bulls.
Okay, so when does the playoffs start? Usually.
In 2-3 weeks. It's still in April.
Okay,
they start in
cool.
April.
Cool. But we definitely have to scheme a game.
Yeah, definitely one of the road games. Right now, it's because the reason why he's talking, it's looking like it's going to be the Bucks in Indiana. So.
All right, so we can watch that game.
Yep, and they'll be versing the Bucks hurt again. Oh my God! Can I just go against the Pacers healthy, please?
Oh God! But yeah, I can't do it. Good luck to the Bucks.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna need it. Bobby Portis comes back for the last couple of games, so
Okay.
He should be fresh leg, and then Jericho Simmons comes back either game 1 or after game 1 in the playoffs.
Okay.
But he it's a chemistry thing. Bobby Portis hasn't played with the new guys, but again, he has a lot of heat on his shoulder for the stupid 25-game suspension for his assistant giving him the wrong painkillers.
Oh well.
Don't get me started on that. The NBA is so.
Yeah, we're not gonna go into the.
You allow Miles Bridges to hit his wife twice in front of his kids.
We're not gonna go into that.
We're
not getting into that. I'm not gonna
because Bobby Portis is on the Bucks. That's just morally backwards, man.
I'm not gonna promote any violence.
But yeah, I don't know. As much as it seems like there's no hope for us, sadly there is. I don't. And what I mean by it's not sadly. That's a grateful thing that there's hope for the Bucks. But
everybody has a chance.
But I say that in the way of, I want all the hope and chance, or I want none of it. I don't want this back and forth stuff. I can't take it. But what normally takes a while, like blood clots for Damian Lillard, blood clots in general take 3 to 6 months. But we never knew the severity and how severe his was. It could have been I'd say like a normal, because everybody's situation is different. But from what I saw, there's multiple stages, and I'm not going to try and say the names, and I don't remember them. But I just remember them in stages. There's ones that are like thick and more it's severe, and there's like the normal ones, which are not, and that are easier to assess. And then there's like smaller ones that are found that can bypass in with weeks. And hopefully the way they're sounding it's one of the ones they found extremely early, and he doesn't have to do the normal 3 to 6 months and can possibly come back for the playoffs.
Oh, that's good news.
Yes. It's still up in the air, but there's hope that it passes.
But there is a chance that he can come back.
Yes.
All right. Cool.
So
that always helps.
By the way, for anyone that's interested in hockey, keep your eyes on the Washington Capitals. Alexander Ovechkin is 4 goals away from becoming the all-time career goals leader, breaking Wayne Gretzky's record.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah, one of my friends, Zach, who's in the Bucks group, his favorite team's the Capitals, so he's been.
Alexander Ovechkin is 4 goals away from becoming the NHL's all-time career goals leader.
Cool.
Breaking Wayne Gretzky's record.
You're not getting it if you're going to do that.
So, are you done with your topic?
No, because we still have to talk a little bit about other teams. So that's the hope for the Bucks. They have to keep fighting these next couple of games. There's 2 games at the end of the season, 1 at home and then 1 away against the Detroit Pistons. That's fighting for a spot.
Okay.
So that's 2 games to look at if you're interested in basketball games, because those will be for important fighting positions in the playoffs. The Hawks, Bulls, and Heat are all not really the Bulls. They would have to like win out, but they actually have been doing. Those three teams are all fighting from the 11 from 10, 9, 8 part. And then I guess you put the Pistons and Bucks, but the Pistons and Bucks are a little bit more games ahead. So it seems like that's kind of like the lock-in in those positions.
So how many games are you guys ahead of the other team?
Yeah. So, and again, the Pistons were a sleeper team that I included. I knew they were going to be way better this year. I didn't think they were going to be this good, but their defense and three-point ability because of Malik Beasley and Cade Cunningham has been amazing. So that's one thing. Sadly, the Orlando Magic aren't really in the talks because of all the injuries they've just unfortunately had. But I will say for Magic fans, if you guys weren't injured this year, you guys would be the Detroit Pistons. So, like, they would be in the playoff spot and be making the noise in the league and stuff.
Okay.
So you'd have those two young teams. But I just gotta say this: the NBA rhetoric or media rhetoric, not the NBA, the NBA media rhetoric and agenda is ruining the NBA. We have all these teams besides the Cavaliers. Actually, no. Because all those teams have beat the Boston Celtics, and not all, but most of those teams have. This is the most, maybe not record-wise you'll see it, but when you see these games, how close they can be. Sadly, a lot of the play style does seem a little too mimicky, and that can maybe bore people. But this is the most competitive I've seen the NBA. And it's getting ruined by stupid media agendas and rhetorics, by analysts who don't watch other. Stop it! Thank you. I'll put it away so you don't see it. There you go. That was a tamale, and he wants it, and I'm not giving it to him. But yeah, it's just they're ruining it with the views are dropping. We've lost 1 million views, which I get is a lot, but it's nothing compared to the MLB, and it's nothing compared to the NFL. They have lost almost double digits, and they're still in the double digits because these leagues just do that well. But like, he's funny, but it's just getting ruined by mainstream media again. Guys who don't watch other teams, don't care. There's so many athletes in the NBA that deserve to get attention, whose stories are phenomenal underdog stories that come in. I get it's done over and over, but they're all similar. They're all guys that come from either bad backgrounds or just have something that they have to overcome, and they do it. And there's just no story. Like you were talking about yesterday on the phone call. People love stories as much as I don't really care. I know a lot of people care. There are so many stories to be talked about that are just getting wasted in these guys' prime playing time. Like before Halliburton got really cocky and got famous for liking snow bunnies and stuff like that. Even though he wasn't in the hood or whatever, a lot of his coaches and a lot of people around him doubted him. That's something for him to overcome. Jason Tatum is a quiet guy who wasn't flashy and kind of was so at his childhood, but like, again, he had trials and tribulations, but he's not a talker, and he let his worth ethic and playing do the talking for him. Like Jaylen Brown, even though I don't really like him now because of his, he's a little too serious for me, even though he's very smart, intelligent. He's one of the smartest NBA players of all time. Like there's so much stuff that you could have until sports have kids that need to look up to people, and you can have all this, But what's the NBA gonna push instead? Oh, John Morant doing gun celebrations, or Dylan Brooks smack talking Draymond Green, even though they're the worst people to look at. And then that's what the rhetoric is. Oh, we wanted toughness. The reason why the 90s and 80s and 70s in the NBA was so physical is because they weren't as talented as the players today. So when they would get crossed up and back then by the greats, they would reform to I'm going to hold him, I'm going to spool him, I'm going to slap him because I'm not fast enough to guard him or steal the ball. That's why those old heads, when they say, "Oh, it's so soft nowadays," blah blah blah, because they would get outskilled if you put the decades together, and that's why people don't really like to have the decade talk because old heads don't want to hear that they would get outskilled. But the reason it happens, and this is another thing, so I'm gonna give them their flowers, is because the other generations learn from your guys. The rules change.
Yeah, but you gotta admit, players need to be soft.
But they're faster and more skilled. They don't need to get
Yeah,
physical.
yeah. I'll give you that, but they're still soft. They're not tough.
I would disagree. They just don't hate each other. There's no need to. The reason why guys back then did not like each other was for a lack of skill. It wasn't because they actually had to beef. Sometimes it was racism if we go further back, but we're not getting into that. A lot of the times it was just the lack of skill. The reason why Jordan would get hacked a lot is because they were not allowed to double team back then. So you couldn't have multiple players. Today you can get four players on you. In the 90s and back then it was only one-on-ones.
Yeah.
So every time Jordan would beat somebody, they would slap him, they would hack him because they couldn't do anything else because they were less skilled. Like, when people don't want to admit that. So today's game is faster paced. They don't have to hit each other. So then when you do see someone like a Draymond Green who gets too physical with somebody because he's a fat ass and he's slow. In NBA terms, he's not really fat, but he's a great defender, don't get me wrong. But when he does get beat, and instead of having to help defense, he'll resolve to physicality. That's a lack of skill.
I would love to see you say that to
I think Draymond Green would know that he's a bigger guy in body types when it comes to basketball players. And I'm sorry, as a bigger guy, I can say that.
Yeah, I would call you're a fat.
And I don't like Draymond Green. I don't like. I might get hit in the face.
How dare you,
I also think he respects me if I said I don't like him.
How dare you?
Oh,
I don't think he's an evil human being. I just don't like him as like what he does.
So Jay, you don't like you like people that kick people in the nards for no reason?
Who
that's
punches
what Draymond
people
Green does.
For no reason? Like, that's what he does. He's a dirty player, and then he tries to act like I do nothing, man. Like that's why people call him a donkey. He's an ass.
Wow.
Not only does he look like a donkey, he's an asshole.
Now we're going to look.
You have not seen the memes of Donkey from Shrek next to Draymond Green's face?
But that doesn't mean you have to make fun of the guy.
2 weeks ago, I just literally said that my friend looks like the giraffe from Madagascar because he does.
Who?
You never met him. What's Melman from Madagascar?
Yeah.
The giraffe Melman.
Yeah. Who looks like him?
That's a friend.
My friend, one of my friends.
He knows you're.
Oh, okay.
He knows you're joking around.
Yeah. It's kind of the same thing with like Draymond. It's just true. He just fits it.
Like I'm old. I remember in football where you can actually kill the quarterback.
Football is a way more physical sport than basketball. Basketball was never ever meant to be physical. And then if people want to talk about softness, why does no one talk about the first like 15 to 20 years of NBA when they were just doing one-handed dribbles and barely pats on the back? That's the softest era of basketball ever. Guys, we're not even dunking on each other. That didn't exist. Dunking didn't exist for so long in basketball.
They couldn't dunk.
No,
they couldn't jump that high because it's all white men.
No, some of them could dunk, but it was a rule that you couldn't dunk. But then after a while, when so many people were just able to, and then someone did it live with an audience and realized they can get more views if they allowed these big giants to dunk, they would get more people in the stands.
That is true, though.
And that's what happened. But guys were in warm-ups dunking or touching the rim. Some
And
guys
look
couldn't
at
dunk with the
Hockey, man.
ball, but you would see them hit the rim all the time. Like there's old pictures and like weird non-audio videos and stuff of like historical basketball.
You know what? I was shocked when I watched the hockey game. I see these two guys fighting with fists. I'm like, what's the referee? Is this illegal?
You get 2 minutes after that. After they break up the fight, you get 2 minutes in the penalty box.
Yeah. Did you know that for a while in hockey, there was an era where they didn't allow fighting?
There was a brief moment, yes.
Yeah. It was like what, 2 seasons?
If that.
I was like, yeah, it was like I think it was a season and like a half of season, and they're like, you know what? Y'all
Screw
can fight again. Yeah.
It's a bare knuckle fight.
The most bloodiest game ever played on ice was the 1984 quarterfinals between the Montreal Canadiens and the Quebec Nordiques, which are now the Colorado Avalanche. Okay. In 1984, they were both competing for the Stanley Cup. The puck hadn't even dropped yet, and both teams were fighting each other, grabbing each other's jerseys and socking each other in the face. Every single person was taking a partner.
But I don't get that. Is that really legal?
That is more cultural. The Montreal Canadiens and the Quebec Nordiques is because the Montreal is more of a Anglo-Franco city. It's a bilingual city, whereas Quebec City is entirely French.
Yeah, but is that legal?
Oh, there were people that tossed out of the game before the game even started. So,
and during a hockey game, bro, how many fights can you get into?
I mean,
That's it too.
Each player can technically get into 2 fights before they're actually thrown out the game.
Yeah,
it's like the NBA with 2 technicals.
If you're in 2, you're fine. But if you get a third, you get a game misconduct, which is an ejection. So,
I mean, football, you fight.
I thought it was like kind of like soccer where they get to decide on the second one. Like the third one's for sure.
The referees get to decide. The referees get to decide the severity of the penalty, but
that is brutal, man. That is brutal.
So, obviously, everyone knows about the Miracle on Ice game back in 1980.
Yeah.
Little did they know there was a preview to what was, well, basically, they had an exhibition series here in the United States 4 years earlier, in 1976.
Mm-hmm.
The USSR decided to come to Philly and face the Broad Street Bullies in a hockey game. It went about as lovely as you would expect.
Oh, I can imagine.
There were I think there were more people in the dressing room bloodied and impaled than.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I mean, the Philadelphia Flyers of the 70s were brutal. And I mean, they were known for causing chaos and just brutalizing people. I mean, that's how they won their Stanley Cups in the 70s.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
They just brutalized. They just attacked the USSR team. And I mean, that's just one of the great things about hockey is that, you know, you stick up for one another. It's a team sport. It's you get on the ice and you're there for one another. It's live or die by your team.
But yeah,
pick on the rookie, someone else will fight for them.
Isn't football the same way?
Okay, answer me this. how many football players do you know actively take off their helmets to punch someone in the face?
They can't. It's illegal.
It's also
Exactly my point. You can try to fight in football, but trying to punch a helmet will break your hand.
I will say the reason why footballs are also an amazing, great sport is because unlike basketball and NHL, where it's kind of ongoing and back and forth, is a one play where all 11 players at the same time have to be doing something. So I'm just playing devil's advocate there, but yeah. So
fair point.
Yeah,
but that's also the reason why I love rugby too. So,
you know what's an underappreciated sport that I wish had a really famous league? I know they have an arena league, but it's not televised or famous. Lacrosse. Lacrosse is one of the most physical sports, and it's the oldest sport.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is physical. I know that much.
Like, these guys aren't wearing any pads besides shoulders, and they're getting hit with their sticks on their forearms. Some guys now are allowed to wear forearm pads, but they didn't used to.
I mean, that's just about like rugby. It's brutal.
Yeah, and it was made by the natives.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's why.
I forget which tribe created it, but
it was multiple tribes. It
was the Plains.
It technically started with
Plains natives
tribes, I don't remember which one,
Canada.
But it's kind of how peaceful tribes did a lot of their.
Hold on for a minute.
Like games and stuff when they would come together at certain meeting points, because a lot of tribes would share land together, and during certain seasons, a lot of them would be kind of like intermingled, so they would play games a lot.
Oh, that hurt. That hurt.
Not every single tribe, because they're definitely brutal tribes, but yeah, it was just a cool way of, we have a dispute.
It was like in the regions of modern day Saskatchewan, Manitoba, that area, like the plains of Canada. I know it was created in Canada by the natives out there, but
it was created by technically it was made in Canada, but also America, because they were in the, like you said, plains up north that went to the Midwest and Midwest East. They didn't really go up to the shores, but like Pennsylvania, Ohio,
North Dakota,
Indiana, Wisconsin, Minnesota, and back up.
Yep.
It wasn't really it didn't really hit the South until later, and then other things started to happen where then lacrosse was just integrated and kind of disappeared for a while and then came back.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like stupid old though.
Yeah, it is really, really, really old.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why it is sad that it's not a bigger.
It's kind of like it kind of reminds. Well, soccer, its origins can be traced back to the mines.
Yeah, it does.
But it's not soccer though.
Well, no, it's not soccer, but they play
a version of it.
Yeah, similar way.
It's kind of like a mix between soccer and basketball, to be honest, because the hoop you score through is up high, like in basketball. So
yeah, I know. I'm Aztec and Mayan, so
it's just kind of interesting that they would have used the.
Why can't we have a pro? Why can't we have a pro dodgeball league?
That'd be cool. I would see that. If there's like dodgeball in stadiums, and instead of like all your people are out, there's multiple rounds, but instead of the rounds being like the final thing, it's timed just like every single sport. So it's how many rounds you can go into 2 hours and how many points you get in those 2 hours. And then after everyone's eliminated out, you just start over again.
I declare we draft all Gen X to go into a dodgeball league. They do not give a shit about.
Dude, you know how fast those balls can come at you.
And guess what?
Yes,
Gen X played in a time where there was no rules allowed, and you can do headshots back then.
I remember in PE class one time, this kid just chucked the ball at my head. I almost got hit by the ball. I ducked. It said grazed my hair. I was like, damn.
Did you play with the rubber balls or the foam ones?
Rubber.
Yeah, me and Kenton, I think, grew up with the foam ones, but
I played one dodgeball in school with rubber.
The rubber balls hurt, dude.
That's what makes it fun.
But at least my rubber ones were colored and not just red.
Oh yeah, I'm old, so we had the red balls.
Yeah, we had red ones, but they had like red, yellow, blue, purple, orange.
We had the big red balls.
Oh. Yeah,
I was really good at dodgeball.
I mean, that's the reason why
I'm a big guy. It's good to be flexible in gymnastics, I should say.
There's another thing too that I say. Everyone decided we should play kickball indoors, and everyone decided we should not do that when I got up to kick.
I love kickball.
Because majority of the time, because I have a tendency to get under the ball and kick it up and far. So I tend to pop the ball more often than not, so on the nails in the roof. So
I've broken 3 light bulbs in playing indoor kickball.
Well, this is fun, you guys, but man, I'm not kidding.
Dang, you didn't even let me go through the West teams.
Go ahead, hurry up, man. I'm in pain right now.
Well, I'm going to catch you guys later. I got to go.
No, we can skip that and just do that for next week because the playoffs don't start. Next week we'll do the Western Conference, and I'll. Oh yeah. I was gonna go more into the East, but people, do you guys really care about the Bulls, Hawks, and Heat?
No.
Before you go,
I live in Chicago, and I don't care about the Bulls.
Oh, you want to plug something? You can go right ahead.
No, but I don't know. There's just a close race. The Bulls were on like a 6-game winning streak. I think the Heat are on 1, or they might have lost 1. We watched the games yesterday, the last 2 days, so I am behind on that. I normally am watching games. It's either the highlights or I actually watch the full games because people be putting them up on the internet. But yeah, I'll get to you guys about the West Coast. That's the more better conference, so I'll have more like actual detail stuff. We'll go into it more deeper there than the East because the East is kind of set and it's only really with the Pacers just officially got their playoff spot, but they're like in the playoffs, but they don't know. And it's between the Pistons and Bucks, but the Bucks got to win, the Pistons got to win, and I don't really care for the other 3 teams behind those. So, but I was gonna say, at least my Bucks are in the fight, and we're the most banged up team right now. So, that are in the playoffs. I'm sorry, Magic fans.
Bulls are still in like a play-in position.
The Bucks, Pistons, Heat, and Hawks, and then the Bulls. On the upper.
Hey, how many apart are they?
What?
How many games are each team apart for the playoffs?
If they're in the playoff it's one. It's like a sudden death. So it's like 7 versus 11 and 10 versus 8.
Okay.
And then the 2 winners versus. I'm forgetting something. I don't know. My team has never been in this position before, so this is kind of new. Even though I've watched the play-in tournament games, I don't really pay attention to how it actually happens.
Okay.
So one team. So yeah, whoever wins 1 moves on to the upper echelon.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a tournament style basis. I'm trying to. That's why I was confusing me because I was looking for each conference, but it doesn't go that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's 7, 11, and then 8 and 10. So if 10 wins, then yeah, and then whoever wins those ones. So yeah, that's how it goes. So I was right. I was thinking too much into it. So yeah. So if 8 and 10 go, whoever wins that one versus the 7, or the winner between 7 and 11, and then whoever loses from that one or wins from that one gets the extra spot.
Okay, cool.
And I think the 2 losers fight for the 8th spot. There you go. That's how it goes. There, boom.
So, Phil, is there anything you want to plug before you go?
If you guys are interested, I'm going to be uploading a lot more videos this weekend. It's going to be more like sweets and baked goods and stuff like that. That'll be. I'll be uploading one later tonight. I know I promised on Wednesday I'd have one up on Wednesday, but I did at least record it, so I just need to upload it. So, but there'll be more like possibly I'll be making some cinnamon rolls. I'll be making some various other baked goods. So
I love cinnamon rolls.
Hey, Justin. Thanks for stopping by, man.
Oh, huh? Justin's there. Hey, Justin, long time no see, my man.
Yeah, we're ending a little bit, but
yeah, well, I'll be back tonight.
So
possibly just go ahead and follow me right here at Philip Rowers. So. This is my channel name. Go ahead and give me a follow, sub, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. And we'll have a lot more this weekend. I mean, I don't have any time. I have all the time in the world right now, so I can upload as much as I want. So,
and guys, there's going to be a little bit of a hiccup next week. I'm not going to be home next week. I'll be on vacation, so I will have a video up on Monday.
Yeah, stay tuned for Jay's live. I'll be joining him in his Q&A today. So.
Yeah, the Q&A tonight. But I am going on vacation this Sunday, and I'll be back next Friday. So it doesn't look like we're going to have any podcast for next week.
Yep, and then stay tuned for the following Wednesday. So not this next Wednesday, but the following Wednesday. For our 3rd episode of Days Gone By, where we do 1965 and 1966.
And this is new. I haven't told Jay, but what's better now to do it. I might make a gaming channel. I'm not sure. Because I've been playing video games a lot lately on my free time. I mean, a lot.
I mean, I've been telling you this for like months to do it.
So, but I'm going to ask Jay if he can maybe make a poll on his channel and see if people would be interested if I make one, if they would go over or not.
Anything I can do to help.
Hey, let's go. So
I'm happy. Man, you know me. I'm happy to help you guys any way I can.
Because I don't know. As much as I like sports, I'm just going to continue just to give that to Jay. I'm still going to do a sports channel and do more deep dive videos. So I'm not going to have it as weekly as I wanted it at first off.
But you're still going to do the podcast, right?
Yeah, I'm doing deep dive videos like about like stuff that I want to talk about with sports that I have to do like research in and then find cool highlight videos or stuff like that. And then,
that's what I have Jackson for.
Yeah, that's what we have Jackson for. So I want to start utilizing him for that. So
Jackson doing a video for me right now.
So, and then the gaming channel, I just want something where I can talk to them, you guys, more consistently and just kind of enjoy and relax and have someone, you know.
We really need to help these guys get up to 1,000 subscribers so they can actually live stream.
And I'll be playing a
I thought it was
variety
50.
of games. So
Is it 50?
yeah, you need 50 subscribers to go live from your
Oh,
phone.
damn.
But if you have a laptop or computer, you can go live right away.
Oh, really? For me, it was down? No. Wait.
It's 1,000 to get like revenue and like
Then why am I not getting any revenue?
that. I thought you could get donations now.
No.
Or maybe
Maybe it have to do with more viewer time on actual videos.
Yeah, I'm almost there. I'm almost monetized. I'm almost there.
well, the new
Yeah, I
rules
think it's
changed
more
it where it's
viewing hours.
easier. By the way, so
I need about 800 more hours.
um,
All right.
So
start
if you guys
saving.
can help me on that, guys, go watch my videos. Give me some 800 hours. Then I can turn on my super chats. I can turn on my subscription button.
I was like, sometimes I put Jay's video playlist on and then I just go to sleep. That's how I get your reviews up.
Yeah. Oh, man. That's a dedicated guy. That's dedication right there. But guys, yeah, that's it for Sports Talk today. Like I said, next week, I'm not sure if we're gonna have a sports talk. Maybe me and Kitchen will talk about maybe doing something real quick on Saturday night
Yeah.
if he's not busy. And like I said, I am gonna have a video up by Monday. My editor Jackson, I already sent him a video. He's gonna edit it for me.
Man, you don't get it. Oh, my thing broke again.
He's gonna send it over to me by tomorrow night, so I can upload it. So
I told you guys my stand is still broken.
but yeah, it's been me, it's been Kenton, and it's been Phil. Thank you for watching us. We appreciate it. Like I always say, stay safe, stay positive, and always go.
Like and subscribe and go Pack Go.
Yeah, that too. I'll see you guys later tonight for the Q&A. Me and Kenton.
Yep, see you guys later.
All right, guys. You guys have a great one.